you, sir. Thank you. Hello, all. How are you guys? How are you guys doing?
Hi,
Hi,
good.
Vinod.
Hi,
Good, thank
Vinod.
you.
Good, we are fine.
Okay, good. Thank you. Quickly, I'll share my screen. Okay, and just confirm. Anyone just confirm if you can able to see my screen.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you. I'll just take a few minutes just to introduce myself, just to have some clear background, how many years of experience I have, what knowledges I have. Okay, so my complete name, my name is Vinod Kumar, qualification MBA in finance, and pretty okay with some languages. So I know English, Kannada, Telugu, and Hindi. I can speak fluently. In specific to the on-site projects, especially in specific to finance as an operations, almost I have 9 years experience. In that, I just travel almost like 4 on-sites in multiple countries. In specific to S4HANA, overall, I have 5 years experience. In the recently, 2025, I have done one on-site travel. The current projects which I'm talking right now, the current projects which I'm handling, implementations and data migration. So implementation is already done, and now we started with the data migration. Almost like first part is already completed. We done all the data migrations in the development system, and February we're gonna do some dry run. Okay. So in specific to the KNR Institute, the best practices in this training over the past few years, what you will get. That's very important. We're gonna train, make yourself comfortable. We make sure you understand conceptually and technically. This is where, because I've seen in my current projects, we have, there is a team. People conceptually they know, but technically they fail to understand. When we put across, when we go to the client place, they fail. So since looking all those experiences, we decided not only conceptually, technically people should be very strong in understanding. And my strong area, the currently I'm handling FI and CO in office, like we call it as accounting and controlling together. And my best and strong area uh, in FI, fixed assets, and I know other topics as well, meaning I do other configurations, customizations, but I love asset accounting. That's my strong area. Income to CO, cost elements, cost centers, internal orders, good in product costing, material ledgers, and some part of COPA. Okay, these are my strong area. Okay, so what I'm training you, I'm just putting all my real-time experiences, meaning whatever customization I do in Office in the real project, same way we're going to transform the knowledge so that future, if you attend any interviews, you can directly can say, yes, this is a real time. What are you going to do in the office right from the scratch? I'm going to explain you. Same way, there is no separate practice. We won't do anything. The reason, whatever implementation I'm doing in office, the same way will transform in the classes. Okay. So this is about my quick short intro. Okay, let's any questions so far? Like I'll take a pause for 1 minute. If no, we can get started. Anything you want to ask? I'll take your questions. We can discuss later also. Any few quick, short, any info you needed, I can happy to share.
Yes, Vinod.
You-
So currently now, to which project or which company you are supporting?
I'm working for Sopra Steria. It's a French-based company. Uh, we are implementation first we have done. So once implementation done, I'm doing right now data migration because the client, it's like more of individual contributor kind of a role. So it was a very good opportunity. Very rarely this kind of opportunity I get because I only did the implementation. So then we are doing the data migration. So in and out.
So now,
Yes.
now the data migration or the conversion from ECC to
Yes,
S4HANA.
you're right.
So
Yes.
you are involved in
Yep.
the other legacy systems to S4HANA, or it is
Yes.
ECC to S4HANA.
ECC to S4HANA.
Oh, great. Good.
Okay. Right from there is no specific separate team. We only do the transformation, ETL loads, analysis end to end. It's a beautiful, the experience.
Okay.
I'm so lucky in that, in the implementation. And I don't know the company. Most of the people doesn't know about this company, but it's very the best company in the France. They are into the top second in ranking. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Let's get started. You know, the course content and prerequisites. Like just a basic, very. Let's try to understand very few basics. Okay. FI already and CO. FI mostly it is for external reporting, where it is controlling is more of internal reporting. Okay, let's uh, let's put a structure, then you will understand the entire CO. What are the course? I mean, not only the content, you need to understand the structure. Like if anybody asks like what's CO, then you need to be able to explain the structure. Let's put a structure, then you will understand. With the structure you will understand what we're going to cover. Okay, let's talk controlling. In controlling we have three categories, I mean three main concepts: overhead, overhead costing, we call it as next product costing, and we call it as COPA, let's say profitability analysis. Okay, so this is a main. If you broader picture, it's just in high level I'm explaining. If we to say controlling, these are the three main pillars, we can say classifications, you can say. These are the main. In overhead costing, we have cost centers, we have internal orders. Okay. So if you're talking about, we'll go in detail, but at a understand at high level, overhead costing, what it contains, we'll have cost centers and internal orders. Okay. When it comes to product costing, again, there are three categories in product costing. Product cost planning, we call it as product cost planning. Second, we have cost object controlling. Let's make it like this. Second, cost object controlling. Third one, we have material ledger. Okay. So again, in the product costing, we have a very deep understanding or deep conceptuals involved in cost object controlling. So in cost object controlling, again, we have four types, meaning four types means four subcategories. We call it as product cost, product cost by order. We call it as MTO scenarios. We call it as. Secondly, product cost by collector, product cost by sales order. Okay. And lastly, now it is recently, it is everyone should know about engineering to order. We call it as EDO. Most of the organizations having this process, EGE, engineering to order. Okay. Let's again in the product cost by order. This one, if you take this one, we have two categories again in product cost by order. Product cost, or let's hold on. I'll take it like this. Product cost order. is having again two subclassifications. Product cost by production order. Second one, product cost by process order. Okay. Again, in the another subtopic, sales order. Again, sales order is not a cost object. Sales order is a cost object. Okay. So in the product costing, these all are the concepts and these all are the sub-process are involved. Okay. So in the material ledger, we will discuss or mainly multiple currencies we have. Currency, we have actual costing, and we'll have multiple valuations. Again, in this multiple valuations, we'll touch base on legal valuations, group valuations, and profit center. And we have something called CO, GM, cost of good manufacture. This we call it as like, in another terminology, we can say parallel valuations. Parallel. Okay. So I'll come back, but let's put a structure so that you will understand. COPA, when it comes to COPA, we have account-based COPA. We have costing-based.
Vinod, if you don't mind, can you please just increase the zoom size?
Zoom size.
Just
Okay,
bit,
sorry.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, cool. Costing-based. 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 Miss COPA. We have something like combined COPA. It's a combination of both. OM. Combined COPA. Okay. So if you understand controlling, this is what the structure, and this is what, if you say I'm a CEO consultant, you need to know all these concepts. Each head has its own importance and it is interlinked with, overhead costing is again interlinked with the product costing is linked with the COPA. And if you look at in the broader way, these are the concepts, conceptually and technically, we're going to cover in CO module. In detail, overhead, we'll talk about cost centers, internal orders. When it comes to product costing, these are the subcategories. We will, talk about product cost planning, cost object controlling is like, MTO scenarios are the major areas. In most of the manufacturing units, they're following MTO scenarios, and make to sales order. This is MTS. make to sales. Okay. And there is something like engineering to order, which is something very new. In few companies they are following, but MTO scenarios, like, we can cover in detail, and we can give some background. We are just, if I get a scenarios of engineering to order, definitely we can cover, but we will cover MTOs and, make to order, make to sales, those scenarios. Especially in the product costing, this is where it is involved, like, how you are performing the make to order, make to sales. Okay. And in material ledger, we will cover, like, multiple currencies, actual costings, and especially on the valuations. In COPA, like, costing based COPA and accounting based COPA, we can cover. Okay. This is what the structure, like if you talk about controlling, this is what it is involved. Okay. Any questions so far? This is just on high level. Okay. So again, you ask about the contents, right? This is what the content. This is what we're going to cover each and in detail.
So where is the profit center and WBS element is false?
No, I'll tell you. Profit center is no more a controlling object. Profit center is a FI element. Okay.
But in
It will not
SPR
come.
setting, it comes under controlling model.
What do you mean by
This is-
SPRO settings?
Like if you go through SPRO, it falls under SPRO
No, correct.
basically notes. Yeah.
No, that's okay. FI, sorry, this whatever you're talking, profit center. Earlier, when you're working on ECC, earlier it was a CO object, profit center. No, now in S4HANA, the profit center is no more CO object. It is a FI object. Okay. The one we will cover is like cost elements. Everyone knows this, cost elements. Cost elements is, it's just like your GLs. Okay. These are the cost carriers, we call it as. We'll go in detail, but if you talk about controlling, these are the things. I mean, just to correct yourself, profit center is not a CO object. It is FI object now. Okay. Any questions so far? At least understood on high level. These are the topics you will see in controlling. This is the core controlling topics, and this is what the subject altogether. If you say, if you claim I'm a controlling consultant, you should know about all these each elements of controlling. Any questions so far? Maybe you are hearing for the first time, maybe. This is what in real time I'm talking about this, whatever the experience I'm sharing here, it's a real time in life. This is what gonna we do. Okay. If no questions, yeah.
So now the overview what you have given on this controlling aspects, it looks like skeletal view. Okay.
Correct.
So in this training program, how are you going to go forward with these concepts, be giving an illustration, and are we also going to do this testing in servers?
Yeah. See here, this is just on high level, correct? As you mentioned, it's just like overview high level. Each topic. Can you just go on mute, please? Okay. Can you just go on mute if no questions are there? Like this is a high, because see, first you need to understand what is controlling, correct? You understood these are the core concepts involved in controlling. What we're going to do from the training, each activity, for example, we'll begin with cost elements. We'll go with primary cost, secondary cost in detail. We don't here, as I mentioned clearly from the KNR Institute, it's very specific. We have clear objective. Whatever we'll explain, conceptually we'll explain, technically we'll explain. When we do the practice, or I'll show in the system, correct? Again, you need to practice as well. Okay, we will show each and every stage how we are doing. See, just imagine like how we are giving training. I'm a client. I'm just telling I want this requirement. So in that way we will teach. Okay, so that you need to practice. Take a license servers. So just whatever the topics we're going to cover, just do practicing. So controlling now directly we cannot begin with the controlling. There are some FI prerequisites are there. Okay, so before I'll go to the next, but what is prerequisites before we begin with the controlling? But Excuse me. Can you just go on mute, please? Okay. So to answer your question in detail, cost
Yeah.
center is just not a just creating of a cost center. You will understand why it is creating, what is activity, correct? So in just simple, uh, high level to very basic. If you talk about controlling, con controlling will go in two ways. You plan something, correct? Whatever topic you take in this controlling, in a simple, you you do the planning, correct? You you perform actuals. You perform actuals. Second, there is an actuals, and you will get a variance. This is very layman language. If I say your controlling is fitting in these three, you plan something, you have actuals, so definitely there will be a variance. Then your management will think why there is a variance when we have a plan. Entire CO is like planning, budgeting, forecasting, correct? All this revolves around these topics only. Okay. So to understand this planning and actuals, all modules are important. All modules you need to go from the basic, from the scratch. Okay. We will teach you conceptually, technically. We will give some assignments, do the assignments. So you, at the end of the day, you should feel comfortable. Yes. Okay. If no questions, there are some prerequisites. Till here, you guys understood. This is what we're going to cover in the 4 months or 5 months, exact 4 months, each and every topic. See, each activity is important. Let me put on very, very simple understanding why I'm very specifying for controlling. Let's take just an example, just feel, and you can feel this. Okay. What is the main object of any organization, guys? Just objective of any organization.
Making profit.
Very good. Okay, so simple. It says profit. How we can make profit? Profit is main objective, correct? How we can make profit?
To control the expenses.
Okay, good. But let's put it like this. If you're not speaking, can you just
Babu,
go on mute,
Babu,
please?
don't mind. Maybe yeah, you make it quick. Mute, Babu. Looks like there is some background noise. The recording will go very bad. I want the quality of the recording to be for other participants to refer later in a quite pleasant. Thank you.
Okay. So how we can make profit? So increase in sales. Definitely we can get a profit, right? You make more sales, you get more profit. So another one again. So increase in selling price. Correct. A company can sell the price at higher price and they can make some profit. Correct. Third one, as you rightly mentioned, decrease in cost or reduce the cost. The first two factors, right? The first two factors are external factors. There is no control, external factors. You increase the sales. It's again, people can buy or they can ignore. This is an external factor. Selling it again at the price, it is not in your control. Again, it depends on external factor. The decrease in cost is in your control. This is like internal, correct? This is internal factors. Maybe you would have seen, like, in you guys are working professionals, maybe in your organization, there is a word terminology like cost cutting, correct? But they will never focus on the external factor. They always focus on the internal factor. This is where your controlling comes into picture. What it does, entire controlling, whatever we are discussing about cost centers, internal orders, product, everything. The main motto of doing, controlling is to control, track, monitor your cost. The main objective of controlling is to, like, track the cost, control that, you monitor, so to get your profits. Okay. This is where we call it as management reporting. Also, we call it as other terminology, but CO is more of controlling, tracking, monitoring. How are you going to track your cost centers? How are you going to monitor? MTO scenarios, how there is a bomb routing, so many concepts are there. Everything is tightly integrated, everything has a purpose, correct? So that's an overall on high level. Okay, any organization want to make a profit, they want to reduce their cost. That's a reason. A simple, let's put a very simple basic, how your cost, if you decrease the cost, how you will achieve the profit. Let's put one simple calculation I'll show you, just for fun. Okay, cost of uh, bottle manufacture F. Okay, so there are two plans. Your cost of manufacturing a bottle, just like water bottle, take it as 20 rupees, plant A and plant B. Okay, so your cost and your selling uh, like it's too early to tell this example. I'll cover, but let's understand this. I'll take it next. You understood, right? Like now, why we have this cost center, controlling, and what are the topics we're going to cover, and how it is tightly integrated, why organization needed. Okay, there is, before we begin with the controlling, there is a very important prerequisites of FI. Okay, so all the consultants or anyone learning controlling, before that, they should know something on the prerequisites. Okay, of FI. The people, you should be very comfortable in these, FI requirements. Without this, we can proceed. So controlling would be like very difficult. So you should know about the first, you should know about company structure. And you should know about variants. Okay. And you should know about chart of accounts. Okay. You should know about ledgers. Okay. There are some integrations with FI to CO. And you should know about GL creations, because there are a few cost elements we'll create, like FI to GL, because those are the cost carriers. Okay, you should know about these structures. So before we begin with cost centers, so you should know about this. Again, when it comes to ledgers, like leading ledgers, non-leading ledgers, if you know predictive, stimulation ledgers, extension ledgers, that's well and good. And chart of account, you should know about operational chart, group, and country specific. It's good to know. And variants you already know. And the org structure, company org structure. These are the primary requirements. So first we begin with FI requirements, meaning we will cover in the upcoming sessions, like what we're going to do. We will create the basic structure. See, I don't want normally, like, normal tendency, like, if anybody say, okay, create some FI company structure, what people used to do, people used to create one company code and keep practicing or do all the customization. You should have, there is a very detailed concepts involved in ledger creations, why you need to create a leading ledger, why you are creating a non-leading ledger, what is the use of extension ledgers, correct? So always you should create some multiple company codes. In the real time, in the real offices, you will not have only one company code, you will have 30, 40 company codes, correct? You should know about how to handle that structure. So like at least we should start with minimum 3 company codes, like, D10, D20. So D30 example I'm talking. So let's put one company is in India, one company is in US, and one company in Germany. Okay. So you need to understand like how these structures has to be built, how the variance has to be mapped, because all the companies should follow the same chart of account, but India is following April to March, US is following Jan to December, and Germany is following Jan to December. How we can classify the chart of accounts, how the operational chart should be, how should be the group, You should know all these basics. Only then we can begin with the controlling. Clear so far? The minimum requirement this is. You should know about ledgers, leading ledgers. When you follow these three structures, right, you should definitely know when to use leading ledger, when to use non-leading ledgers. Okay. And some integrations with FI to CO, and then we'll create with GLs. And once you have some basic FI to CO GLs, we call it as like, cost carriers, right? Cost elements, cost elements, or another term we call it as cost carriers. We need to create those GLs because those are FI GLs, and those cost will go for a CO. Okay. Very simple to break. You have a cost centers, correct? Cost centers, just this is just a layman language I'm telling. Cost centers are nothing but your departmental cost, correct? Cost centers are your departments. Okay. It's your departments. Okay. So definitely in your department, you will have admin, correct? Admin, sales, correct? Finance. You'll have finance. Okay. So definitely there are people are there in admin department. You need to pay salary, correct? So again, salary. So salary. How these values will come? This salary you will create as a GL, as a cost element, and salary is your FI, and that cost will go to CO with the help of cost carrier. Cost elements, that's the reason we say. So the whatever the GLs you will create, and that GL will act as a cost carrier. It carry the cost from FI to CO. Okay, we will discuss all this, but to begin with CO, these are the prerequisites. One should know how to create the GLs. And if you're creating a GL, you should decide, okay, whether it is a cost carrier, whether it is a part of FI, whether it is a part of CO, that kind of judgmental decisions you need to take, and then you need to create a GL. So in upcoming sessions, we're going to discuss on the basic structure of company, like not single company. I never show, I'll show the three org structures. Like, we'll go with company structure, we will create ledgers, we will understand operational chart, group chart, country specific chart, why it is important, how it is affecting to the ledgers, and then we will create GL, make our system ready for CO, then we will go with the CO. This is what should go directly. We can't pitch into the controlling without having the FI requirements or FI setup. This is what happened in the live also, meaning in the projects. We go to the client place and we'll understand, why the cost elements are created, how many cost centers, everything in detail discussions will be there in the workshops. Okay. Any questions so far? This is just a overview, okay? Nothing to hesitate, but you need to make sure, understand. So the why the way structure we are showing to make you understand this is what the CO contains. It's not just like creating cost centers, internal orders. No, there are so many, what do you say, in-depth concepts are there, distribution cycle, assessment cycles. Everyone should know how to calculate actuals, variance, correct? So in detail, it's not that uh, too basic. This is in-depth subject of controlling. One, if you're claiming maybe just apart from regular, if you're attending an interviews or if you're seeing any job postings, just have a look on the job descriptions, then you will understand. They talk about all this. They talk about cost centers. They say one should have good knowledge in internal orders. Most nowadays everyone talking about product costing. In specifically they'll ask, have you experience, I mean, do you have experience in make to order, make to sales? That's the depth of controlling we have right now. Okay, I'll take a pause here. So just let me know if you have any questions. I can clarify a few things. Is it clear? At least you're getting some idea.
Yes, yes.
Mhm. No, pura silence. That's okay. And just
Yeah, we are fine, Vinod. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Okay. So, can I just know quickly? Think Nasima is there? Hello.
Yeah, why not?
You can stop recording, sir. Like, I just given my overview of controlling. I just
Great.
want to understand from the user perspective also, what's
Mhm.
their experience, at least. Guys, like, why I'm asking, like, most of the time we need to understand, do